Hey guys, so I have a new toxic tip to use on like a new guy or girl you're talking to, so I'm gonna give you the deets. And for all of you that are like, oh my god, stop with the toxicity, we don't care, literally, here's your chance to scroll.
When you first meet a girl, she'll typically categorize you as potential boyfriend material, or she'll just put you in the friend category.
How to make a girl jealous.
He's absolutely cheating on you with her.
You want a girl to fall in love with you? It's just 3 words, my guy.
You can remain alpha in a long-term relationship.
You do not have to accept her rejection.
This is the worst Tinder profile of all time.
Here's how to keep him keen via text, Toxic Edition Part 2.
How many dates should you wait?
How about instantly make conversation flirty?
That's it. That's the post.
So you guys are a couple. Do you mind telling us a story about how you first met?
Oh my gosh.
Tell them.
This goes back to like what?
BC.
What's BC?
Before Christ. Tell them.
Before Christ.
Yeah.
I can hold that.
7th grade.
Oh wow.
Junior high school. I started there at 6. He was the new guy and came in 7th grade.
We actually were in the same kindergarten class.
We found out later we're actually in the same kindergarten class. We were looking at class pictures our parents gave us, and we were actually in the same kindergarten
So it was
class.
just meant to be.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, I chased her for a while.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we were matched on Tinder for a while. We texted for like 2 years. We were both in other relationships, like in and out of. And then after a few years, we just decided to hang out.
Yeah, but where did we first hang out?
Oh,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter than me.
Yeah. So we actually met in Budapest. She's Italian, I'm Caribbean.
Okay.
And we did a walking tour together. But funny enough, we weren't supposed to be on that walking tour individually. I was about to cancel the same morning, she was as well. And we ended up being the only 2 people on the tour.
Wow.
And we're able to connect that way.
Wow.
So that was about a year ago.
You really want to hear the whole?
Yeah,
I
go
don't
ahead, go for it.
Yeah, go ahead. You're better.
Oh
Go
my
ahead.
goodness. I went to a psychic 3 years ago and they told me that I would meet somebody. They described the person. I ended up moving to Vermont.
Which
I
is where
live
I
here. I looked at a billboard and I saw Green Mountain Tai Chi. I said, wow, that sounds like a great name. I went there. I met him. He had just gotten divorced. We fell in love. This was 6 months ago, and we've been inseparable ever since, and we have never had a fight, and it's like the most perfect relationship ever in the whole world.
That's beautiful.
I would agree with that whole thing. The first time I actually met, we knew each other since high school, but we never actually exchanged like words or anything like that. Actually, around his birthday, that was in December of 2024, like he had invited me to like the dinner, and then like that was the first time we actually like shared words and shit. It was from there we were like, oh yeah, that's lockdown. Yes, literally. That was the very first time, and I think from that night, like, after that, we've just been out every other day, literally. Yeah.
We met in person for the first time ever at the Greenbelt. It's like a green space with like a creek and river and stuff. Went swimming, hung out in the sun by the river in the woods, and it was a good time. It was really chill.
So how long have you guys been together since 7th grade?
28 years?
28.
Yeah, 28. Yeah.
So what's the secret in being in a 28-year relationship? How does that last so long?
It changes every day, right? People grow, things happen. If you grow with that person and you love them and that's who you want to be with, grow with them.
Yeah. Willing to compromise, understanding each other's wants and needs.
Yeah, we're grandparents. That's our grandbaby.
It's been a year and 2 months.
1 month.
A year and 1 month. I think you need to understand your personal triggers and communicate that with your partner, because you go into a relationship with a lot of baggage. You have to kind of be able to unpack that baggage for the person, and you guys work together to find meaningful solutions that can work for both of you. Like, the compromising is so important. We've spent a lot of the last 2 or 3 months understanding what makes us tick and what triggers us. And we've been workshopping new techniques to mitigate any kind of conflict that we could have. So it's been a work in progress. Be patient. Yeah.
Patience and thinking that you have to work on your relationship a lot, and even if at the beginning it feels natural, when you move in together, life gets more complicated. That's when the relationship really starts, and you have to put the work in.
So I was in long-term relationship that wasn't pleasant, but I think it's just finding the person that you match energetically with. Like there's an energetic match with that person.
And also respecting the other person, letting the person be who they are. Not being needy, not imposing on the other person everything that you want, letting them be who they are and loving them for that.
How long have we been? Like 6 years?
6 years.
Yeah, it was 6 years in January, officially anyway. Would you say love is a choice is like fair? Like you choose to like do it every day?
Yeah, I think so. And
It doesn't have to be every day. It's pretty easy with you.
Yeah,
But I think every now and then I've seen you like choose to love me because I'm not easy.
Yeah.
2 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're getting up there. Yeah.
Up there, hell yeah.
How do you keep something going for such a long time?
I would just say stable communication, reassurance, letting each other know we're here for each other, thick and thin. And I wouldn't want to spend my time here with anybody else but him. So yeah, pretty much it.
What would you say?
It's crazy because we were just talking about like mortality and stuff like this morning, and kind of this idea that like, yeah, and it was like making me emotional. But just the idea that when you stand still, you spend every day with that person because you kind of choose to. Time is running out, but you know, it's what you have right in front of you. That's the beautiful part of that person. And kind of like when you're really honest to that person, you kind of look them in the face and you say exactly what things are. That's love.
I think we got lucky because we connect on a really fundamental level. So it hasn't been like a whole lot of work to keep our relationship going. And
You have to discuss a lot about like just everything to see like what you're on the same page about, especially like really important things. Just like really big life decisions. You want to make sure that you're always on the same page. We talk about that stuff a lot, I think.
also, we met when we were like 28 or something. So
Oh yeah.
I had already been through
That's true.
relationships, and I learned a lot about myself before we met. So I think we met at the right time.
Yeah, I was like 25 or 26. I was like leveling out emotionally and everything, so we were both in a good place, I think, to be stable for long term.
So my last question is that a lot of young people nowadays think it's a lot harder to find love with all the dating apps and all the internet stuff. And what would be your advice to the younger generation if they're trying to find someone?
I don't want to say set your standards lower because that's not the answer. But I think young people these days, we have two kids. One is 25 and one turned 31 yesterday. Well, our son has like a long-term girlfriend, but our daughter is difficult. But I know everything she wants has to be in a person, right? If they missing one thing, they're like, oh, forget it. They want everything perfect. There's no such thing, as perfect. There's no such thing as perfect. You take people how they are as who they are, and you move forward with that.
Based on my experience, I was in the app and all, and I think that really puts a lot of focus on searching, and instead when I kind of work more on myself and just being positive and putting myself in situation like the walking tour or whatever, then it kind of arrived naturally.
Do your work on yourself first. Take care of your own needs first. Be who you are, and the right person will show up.
Yeah, I miss the intimacy of analog life. I think we are so obsessed with our phones nowadays that there's so much that we can find, so much spontaneity that's in the real world. Like, look at this park, there's so much going on that's just random. People just decide to come here today. So I think for young people, it's just like, don't put so much pressure on yourself. Just be open and willing to just try new things and be in new spaces.
If you could give some advice to your younger self about love or how to go about relationships, what would you say to your younger self?
I would say take your time. It's not a rush. Learn to love yourself before you put your love in anybody else. I mean, a lot of times we rush into relationships and a part of ourselves is not healed, and then we bring that trauma into your partner. So I would say love yourself, nurture yourself, find someone who's willing to grow with you and love with you and not just love you at the best version of yourself, because we're forever evolving. There's no such thing as the best version of ourselves. So
I think I would just tell myself to not rush or feel pressured, and that things will kind of fall into place. So I think I would have just told myself to kind of take it slow and just there's not as much pressure as I think I might have felt.
I guess learn to enjoy yourself, like get to know yourself as a person. Because if we're staying on the topic of like love and relationships with other people, getting to know yourself is not only a huge gift to you, like for your future and just long-standing, but to everyone else around you too. The more self-aware you are, and the more you know yourself and know exactly what you want, which I still struggle with all the time. I struggle a lot to know what I want and separate my desires from other people around me. So just know what you want, for the sake of everyone else around you also.
It has to be magic. You'll know it when you find it. It's like magic. You can't hunt it down. It just will show up in front of you, and then you'll just know. Look for the magic.